love Game of Thrones, especially the book readers who love to act all superior and shit because they know what's going to happen before the rest of us. But wait, maybe they don't. According to George R.R. Martin, people are going to die who don't die in the books. So even the book readers will be unhappy. So everybody better be on their toes. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss are even bloodier than I am. So get ready, HBO viewers, for some surprising things for everyone.
As like an aspiring someday fantasy author, all I want is George R. R. Martin to say that I'm bloodier than he is. Like those guys, that should be the greatest thing that's ever happened to them.
That should be like on their book jackets forever.
So it might be this upcoming season. He also talked in the most recent interviews about the possibilities of the show extending beyond 7 seasons. So it might be that he's referring to later on. I don't know that he means necessarily this season.
They could do Egg and Dunk. Right?
Yeah, that's true. No, but I mean, I think that he might be willing to let them like totally branch off the storyline into things that aren't happening now. So I'm really wondering, does he mean in the season that's going to start in 2 months, are we going to see deaths?
I don't
and so that's
know.
sort of what we're going to speculate about, right?
The show's about to like get past him.
Yeah,
so
for some storylines, it effectively already has.
Yeah, like, what are we going to do with Bran for a while?
Yeah, nothing, and that would be perfectly fine. So we're going to talk about some spoilers and everything.
Okay.
So I have read the books, and so there are some storylines that are already very different than they were in the original books. And also one area where, I mean, I guess he said that will die in here that didn't die in the books. That could be technically true of characters that didn't exist in the books, but exist in the show. They could very well die. And so there are some characters some characters that are amalgamations of multiple book characters. They could possibly die. And it might be that you have the storylines like Bran, where we've effectively caught up. Sansa's storyline, we've effectively caught up. Maybe they need to die.
Her storyline was about to get interesting, too.
Yeah. It might. I mean, we see a little bit in the early trailer of her talking with Peter Baelish and stuff. It also, I mean, look, if we wanted to, we could speculate, but I kind of think that they're going to amalgamate Sansa with Lady Stoneheart. I think that they're going to combine those two possibly. Maybe. I think, because she needs something to do.
How?
I don't know. Maybe she will go off into the Riverlands and start to enact revenge on the Freys. What else is she going to do? Go to a dinner and a dance for the next 3 seasons? Oh, I don't think that'll happen, okay. But maybe. Maybe. So who do you think is going to die?
Who do I think is going to die? Well, I haven't really thought about this. But I think people will be really satisfied to see Cersei or Jaime go.
I could see that. The reason, well, one thing I don't think that that's going to happen in this season, because we've heard early reports during filming of some of the scenes that Cersei's going to be in, and she actually has a very interesting storyline for the next season or two. I would love to see her die, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Everybody wants to see her die, which
Jaime
makes me think they would leave her.
Oh, I think she'll eventually die.
No,
and maybe
she has to. Everyone hates her.
Yeah, they do hate her. I think that some characters that I would not like to see go, I also think won't go. Like, I think that Arya, Tyrion, and Daenerys are both fan favorites enough and have interesting storylines ahead of them that I don't see those characters dying. But it could be that a character that dies later in the books is going to die earlier. And some people at the wall might want to watch their backs, maybe. So I think that you could see that. I think that you could see like a Bran die. Sansa's a possibility because I don't think the fans are all that wedded to her character. Someone like a Hodor, maybe, if they decide to show him, he could possibly bite it. But I don't foresee a major character dying. I think
it's just like when J.K. Rowling was like, one of my characters is gonna die, and then she introduced someone in that book, and then he died.
And then he dies, and I was like, I was getting so attached. So I don't know. I think it's interesting to speculate about, but we don't have enough information yet.
I think this is an interesting way to just announce right now, because sometimes people don't like the way books end, especially the epilogues, which suck. Harry Potter. And I think this is a chance for at least some redemption if one ends before the other, and people like hate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I also think I want to give credit to George R. R. Martin, because for an author to be willing to give this much creative freedom to the show side, like normally big things will change in the show or in the movie, but it's because the author doesn't have any control over it because he signed a contract. But George R. R. Martin had enough power that if he wanted to be incredibly tight-fisted with the IP, he could. But he's apparently trusts DB and David to do this. That, I think, shows, considering how beloved his characters and his world is, I think that shows a lot of, I don't know, a lot of willpower and intellectual, I think, strength from the point of view of George R. R. Martin.
That's true, because a lot of times you see authors being very, like, cracking the whip, butting heads with directors. No, she was great.
Then let people write in your world.
They don't.
If
they
you're not
can't
gonna do it, let
handle
somebody
her
else.
World.
I could totally write. I would write like an horror series. It would be awesome. It would just be hunting down dark wizards.
Harry
it would be great.
did want to become an Auror when he grew up. It could be interesting.
I'm also thinking that if I am ever going to be a published author, I might first do Harry Potter erotica, and then transition it into a BDSM thing, like what's her face, E.O. Jones.
E.L. James was apparently a big pain on the set.
Oh really?
So she's.
I'm gonna be too. Emma Watson better get ready.
No.
For me to be very direct with my directions.
No, John.
Anyway,
so what do you think,
about?
Audience? No more erotic fan fiction today. So now that the control is not completely in George R.R. Martin's hands, who will win the Game of Thrones and who will die? Let us know below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe for more.